Thank you, Nefeli. So, well, welcome everyone. My name is Angel. I'm a technologist in AIDIMME Technological Institute in Valencia, Spain. Today, we will dedicate this first 20 or 30 minutes to develop the idea of the ban of destruction of goods. Where does it come from? What does it actually mean? And how does it apply to companies? And also to try to see how this regulation can also be an opportunity to companies in the textile sector. So where does it come from? The ban of destruction is a mandatory issue that was introduced in the European Eco-Design for Sustainable Products Regulation in 2024. This regulation, since it's a regulation and not a directive, is directly applicable in all state members. And it establishes the regulatory structure, criteria, and mechanisms for eco-design in the European Union. So the idea is that it will be progressively applied to all products placed on the EU market, with exceptions such as food and medicines. Thing is that although it enters into force immediately, it will not apply right away. So its implementation requires the publication of delegated acts, defining the eco-design requirements and corresponding assessments methods for the different product categories. So in that sense, it's important to understand that textiles are considered a priority product group, and the relevant delegated act is expected to be published between 2026 and 2027. So once the delegated act is published, the eco-design requirements regarding topics like repairment or recycled materials will be applicable to every textile that is put into the European market. So who will be affected by this regulation? Well, we have like three different groups that we could distinguish. We have individual actors, like not consumers, but recyclables, designers, and so on. So these actors will increase the need for product data, traceability, and material information that they have to provide and receive. Also, it will shift towards circular roles across the whole value chain. And it will be implying a greater collaboration between production, recovery, and reintegration activities. But it will also affect consumers for sure. So why? Because it implies greater transparency about products like durability, environmental impact, or repairability, for example. It will also give us, as consumers, the access to more sustainable and repairable products because we will be able to compare between products. And also, it will reduce the destruction of unsold new products entering the waste stream. We will see this in the next slides. And finally, for sure, sorry about the mistake there. I was not referring about consumers. I was referring about producers. Why? Because producers will see that eco-design requirements will be mandatory, implying, as I said, durability, recyclability, or recycled content. Also, there will be some obligations for surplus stock management. The digital product passport will be implemented, and also there might be some responsibility across the entire product life cycle. The extended responsibility regarding the products. Okay, but how does the ban of destruction get integrated into the SPR? Well, there are two articles that have to be understood here. We have Article 23, in which it's been said that the economic operators, this is the producers or those companies that actually commercialize products in the European market, shall take necessary measures which can be reasonably expected to prevent the need to destroy unsold consumer products. This is, we have to eco-design our products in order to avoid their destructions if they are not sold. And we have to adapt our business models in that direction. But we have to understand that, firstly, companies will be required to disclose information on discarded and sold products, including the reasons for their disposal and how they are managed. So yeah, we have to take these measures, but we also have to justify why the measures might not be actually being effective. And also that this requirement doesn't apply to micro enterprises and small enterprises, and also that medium-sized enterprises will be subject to the obligation, but in 2030, okay, 4 years from now. And also, probably the most important one, that is Article 25, that says that from July 19th, 2026, this is next month, the destruction of unsold consumer products as listed in Annex 7, that now we will see, shall be prohibited. And here, again, this doesn't apply to micro enterprises or small enterprises, and the medium-sized enterprises will be subject after 2030. Okay, but what is included in Annex 7? Well, as you can imagine, we have apparel and clothing accessories on the one hand, and on the other hand, footwear. So in general terms, clothing that is sold in European Union. So these are the only articles that are included in Annex 7. So this ban on destruction only applies to the textile sector and to clothing sector in general. But why does it matter? Because we understand that this might be seen as a problem or an inconvenience in first term, but we have to understand that this has a meaning or a reason to be applied. Why? Well, because according to the European Environment Agency, the European Union generates nearly 7 million tons of textile waste every year, which is like 8% from global waste generation, which is a lot. Also that around 21% of textile products that are produced are never sold. They never get to the consumers. And around 9% of textiles placed on the European market are destroyed without ever being used. This is nearly 700 million tons per year. It's a lot of products that are produced, which implies an environmental impact, but are never sold, never really get to the consumer. And this is a problem that had to be addressed. Also that even when these textiles gets to the end of this use life, or they are directly disposed, nearly 70% of textile waste is landfill rather than recycled. And most of it is not landfill in Europe, as you can see in the picture, which is also a problem. And finally, leaving aside the environmental impact that is linked to the waste disposal, we also have to understand that at the same time, textile sector is responsible for up to 10% of global CO2 emissions. That's quite a lot. So what we have here is a reglement that addresses all of the products that are sold in European Union, that enhances eco-design and tries to reduce the environmental impact of products, but also implies the ban of destruction of the textile products that are not actually sold. And we have this reglement because of the environmental impact in general of production, but in particular of textile products. Okay, and we understand that this is an inconvenience, but it's something that we have to comply with. Let's see which are the opportunities, because this new paradigm for sure can be an inconvenience in our first sight, but also opens different opportunities that could be addressed by companies. Which are the opportunities? Well, we see that this accelerates circular economy because this increases reusing, repairment, refurbishment, or the recycle of textile products. Also, and linked to the circular economy, this strengthens industrial symbiosis, because the unsold products and materials can become valuable input for other industries and applications. And thanks to this, it enhances collaboration across the value chain. So the cooperation gets closer between brands, retailers, recyclers, waste managers, or social enterprises. And this helps companies to build a stronger and more resilient networks. I'm sure you all already know what resilience is and how the resilience of supply chains are quite important today because of the high number of disruptions, of the geopolitical disruptions and environmental disruptions and so on that affect to companies. So this need of building stronger networks, the creation of regional ecosystems for collection, sorting, reuse, and recycling helps companies to become more resilient and to get a greater resilience through diversified partnerships and circular business models. And finally, it also unlocks new business opportunities. The growth of resale, repair, refurbishment, donation, and recycling markets, and also an increasement in investment in sorting, traceability, and material recovery technologies. And I would like to end this presentation showing to you different examples of how this paradigm, that even though it starts now, other companies have already adapted to that or have promoted some initiatives that are linked to the ban of destruction. The first one could be Resortex, which have a collaboration with Decathlon. They have this concept, which is the disassembly by design. Some of their products are produced with heat dissolvable threads. So buttons, zippers, and labels separate without manual intervention. And they produce, or they'll design and produce, a fully recyclable sky jacket alongside with Decathlon. So this jacket that you can see in the picture, it's easily disassemblable, and the materials that are not dissolvable through heat, as I said, buttons and so on, can be recovered and reintroduced in the production lines. The second example would be Eileen Fisher. They have this Renew program. This brand offers its clients a give back system. They can give back purchased products in exchange for store credit. So these collected garments are refurbished, this is cleaned and repaired, or directly redesigned to be resold. And yes, for sure, the products that they are recovering have actually been sold. So these are not unsold products, but this shows us how we can take advantage of products that are not going to be used anymore. So this idea of the refurbishment or the redesign can be also applied to products, to unsold products. And finally, Mad Jeans. Mad Jeans lease a jeans system. This company, what defined as a business model was the clothes as a service. This is a leasing-based business model. Instead of selling jeans, they lease jeans or rented jeans. So the consumer could return the worn-out jeans, and the company stretches them and blends the fibers with virgin cotton to make new garments. So the idea is to actually build this circular network in which the jeans can come back to the company and get reintroduced again into the production lines in what we call remanufacturing. So these are ideas of how different companies or have already worked in circular economy concepts like remanufacturing, recycling, take back, and so on, and how these concepts can be applied in order to comply with the ban of destruction of unsold products. For sure, we can now discuss other topics like the manufacturing management, manufacturing as a service, and so on. But we believe that these are ideas that can help us to find new opportunities of how to adapt our business models to the new paradigm. And finally, we would also like to show how can Fabrix help you to comply with these ESPR regulations. Fabrix can help you to, in the searching for alternatives for surplus stock. You can identify potential partnerships here, like outlets, upcycling initiatives, NGOs, or social economy organizations. So you can find a way to dispose these unsold items without actually sending them to the landfill directly. Also, it helps to build connection with other links in the value chain, like recyclers, remanufacturing partners, and upcycling actors that could use those unsold products into their production systems. And for sure, it enhances the collaboration to enhance knowledge sharing, which can be also interesting in areas such as design, production optimization, or sales forecasting or new business models. It can help you to see what other people is doing near you or even in different countries to find inspiration to adapt to the ESPR and to the ban of destruction issue. So thank you all for your attention. Firstly, I would like to say that I have let them my email if you want to contact me with any doubt or whatever you think I might be of help. I would be more than happy to answer you.